What up? It's your girl Motivation with V, and this is Get Real with V, where we're going to get real, we're going to get raw, and we're going to get down to the truth. And I am your host, Veronica Suazo. Welcome back to season 2. I am super excited for this episode. This episode is going to be a little bit different than what I've been posting in season 2, and I'm excited for a very dear friend of mine who I went to high school with to share her story. So before we get started, this episode is to highlight Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the month of October. And I just want to say I'm sending out my love, light, and healing vibes to those that have been affected by breast cancer, those that are still fighting and continue to fight. We hear you, we see you. And this episode is dedicated to all of you out there. And I'm excited to hear more about your story and a little bit about you, your journey, what it was like finding out, the challenges, the hardships, all of it. And so first and foremost, thank you for reaching out, being vulnerable enough to put your story out there. You know, it's not easy being able to talk about things like this out loud, let alone put them online.
Yeah,
So
I feel like I've talked about it a lot to like different people, but I think it was kind of like a sign when you posted it, and I was like, maybe I should share it out a little bit more. So, and yeah, it's just,
and also I do want to
Yeah.
add before you introduce
Yeah.
yourself. She showed me a little note card that she received at the camp. What is the camp
so
called?
it's Camp Breasty, put on by the Breasties. They're East Coast based, but it's a breast cancer survivor camp, 4 days. And it was just like an amazing experience. I'll probably talk about it a little bit more later, but at the closing ceremony, everyone wrote a card and they just passed it around. And I got this card, and the card said, "I wish for you to share your story with the world. You are worthy."
Let me see it. I wonder if y'all can see it or not.
No.
Here you go. So this is the note that she received at the end, right?
Yeah.
And then look at how the universe works. I posted something, I don't even know how long after, just asking people from the Bay that want to come on the show and talk about their stories and journey. And she reached out to me and I felt called to share her story in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So it's just crazy how everything aligns. So I'm excited. I'm excited to have you on here and hear more about your story. So without further ado, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah. So my name's Adriana, 34, born and raised in the Bay Area. Me and Vero went to high school together. We went to Mercy. That no longer exists.
Rest in peace.
I know. Yeah, I went to school to get my bachelor's in child and adolescent development. I really loved working with kids. And then I naturally just flowed into advocacy and for children with special needs. So I got my master's in autism spectrum disorders and was doing a lot of advocacy work in that world. And then COVID hit and I was just bored at home, working from home. So I was like, I need to get back into like a school space around people. So I started working at a private school in the city. I managed the front office and I think it was like 8 months into me working there that I had noticed a change in my left breast. More specifically, I noticed that my nipple was inverted and I was just like, whoa, this is like weird. And I've never done like a breast check. I've never been that person to be like, let me do like a monthly breast check to see. Cause I mean, at that point, I didn't think breast cancer ran in my family.
But also, I don't even know, are we allowed to get like monthly breast checkups? Because I know like when you hit 40.
So it's usually when you're 40 that they start doing the mammograms and they won't do breast checks unless you like advocate for yourself. And like if you have a history, they'll usually just tell you like you have dense breast tissue and they're like, it's fine.
Yeah. Gotta love the system.
You know? But yeah, so I think it's really important just to do breast checks every month. Do it I think a lot of people like doing it the first of the month. At the end of this, I can show you how I do like my checks every month. But I do get checked every 6 months. For the next 5 years, I get checked every 6 months. And then after that, it'll be yearly for another 5. So at the end of this, I can show you how I do like my monthly breast check that I usually do in the beginning of the month. And it's just to feel for any kind of like lumps or anything, any abnormalities that you don't see. And I think the most important thing is just remembering to trust your body and you are your best advocate. And in this whole thing, I was literally my best advocate. So, and it's funny that I was an advocate for children with special needs, and I didn't think that I was going to have to advocate for myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's tough. Especially as a therapist in training, it's so important to advocate for yourself. And I always advocate for my clients too. So for those out there, if you feel something is off with your body, get checked and keep going back. If you have to go to a new doctor, do what you got to do because you know
Yeah.
yourself the best. You
Yeah.
know, no one else knows your body like you do. But so when you saw the dent in your nipple, like
Yeah.
what steps did you take to get checked?
So at first, I was like, oh, I did like a check and I was like, oh, well, I don't feel a lump. So I was like, kind of feel embarrassed to admit this, but I actually let it go for a couple of months and just like kind of threw it in the back of my head. I was like, it's probably nothing. And I kept telling myself, I was like, it's probably nothing. It's probably nothing. And I think this was like beginning of April. I was going to Italy for a trip with my friend and I actually booked my check with my doctor right before the trip. And something told me, I was like, enjoy the trip. Just do it when you get back. So I switched the appointment. When I got back from Italy, I got my appointment. And my doctor was like, oh, we don't need to do a breast check. We did one last year. And I was like, no, actually, I think you really need to do one. And he's like, no, he's like, I think it's fine. So he does the breast check. He like looks down and like he literally puts his thumb down and he's like, yep. He's all like, I feel something. He's like, it's about 1 centimeter down. But he's like, it's probably benign. He's
Of
like,
course, they
yeah,
always dumb it down, huh?
yeah. He's like, but he's like, let's send you in for an ultrasound. So I was like, okay. He's like, they're going to call you. They're going to schedule the ultrasound. So I got called, I think like 2 days later, scheduled the ultrasound. Did the ultrasound, I think it was like the 12th of April. This was like 2023. Went in there. They did the ultrasound. And the way the technician looked at me, I was just like, okay. Kind of already felt it. And then the doctor came in and they're like, so it looks suspicious. They're like, we are going to do a mammogram. You're going to do a biopsy and then you're going to do another mammogram again. That thing is very painful.
The mammogram?
The mammogram is very painful.
I'm
And
not
you
looking
have to
forward
like
to
stand
that.
in like certain like position. That thing is like, I wish there was a different way to do this. But yeah, the biopsy, I was there for a total, I thought it was going to be like 30 minutes. I was there for 2 hours.
God.
I was there for 2 hours and my mom actually was picking me up and she was like texting me the whole time. She's like, what's taking so long? Because she didn't know why I was going in.
Oh, you didn't tell her?
So like when I got in the car, I was like so upset. I was like, she's like, what took so long? And I was like, I just had to get a biopsy. And I just started like broke down crying. I was like, just take me home.
So were you dealing with this all on your own?
Kind of.
Like from the initial when you went to see the doctor and like
Yeah. Kind of.
from that moment on until you went to go get the biopsy,
Yeah.
you were kind of just processing it all on your own.
And
That must have been tough.
yeah, it's really tough. I would just go home and I'm just like, I can't believe like this is my reality right now. And I'm
Yeah.
like trying to like just being a naturally anxious person, you think of like every single scenario through your head and you're like,
Intrusive thoughts.
what's going to happen? Like, if it is, what's going to happen? If it's not, should I? That's why I was like, do I want to say something? Do I want to wait? But I was really close with my coworkers. I told them, I was like, I'm waiting for this result and I don't know when it's coming. And I think 3 days before my 32nd birthday, I finally told my dad and my stepmom that I got the biopsy and I like completely like broke down crying, telling them. And they're like, you went by yourself? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, that must have been so hard. And I was like, it was. But we're going to get through this. And yeah.
That's really sweet of them.
Yeah. So I celebrated my 32nd birthday with all this in the back of my head. None of my friends knew. And yeah. And then 4 days later, I was at work. I literally was just, going to lunch. And I saw the Kaiser number on my phone and I was like, ran to the middle of the courtyard, answered it. And they're like, is this an okay time to talk? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, they're like, Adriana, it's stage 1. And I was like, you give me 2 seconds. And I think after this, like, I kind of like blacked out a little, because just
Damn.
hearing that like is a lot. So I felt comfortable enough to go to the nurse at my school at the time. And I went to her. I was like, they called me. I was like, can you please shut the door and can you start taking notes? I was like, because I don't think I'm going to be able to talk. So we just sat there and she spoke for like 20 minutes.
Give yourself a moment. I see it.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all good.
Yeah.
Because when you're talking about something that you went through, like something very traumatic, like emotions start to come up, and it's okay.
Yeah. So yeah, during that time, my boss, me and her were super close. So she came into the room and my boss was holding my back and the nurse was holding my hand. And as soon as that phone call ended, I like completely like fell apart.
It's all good. Nah, don't ever be sorry for crying.
Yeah.
Don't ever be sorry for how you're feeling. It's okay.
Yeah. Can we pause for a second?
Yeah, we can pause. It's all good. Take your breath. Take your time. It's like you're reliving it when you talk about it, you know?
I was like, I've talked about it so many times, but this is different.
It'll never get better. I'm sorry. It'll never, like, it'll
never
always,
get easier.
Yeah, there you go. It'll never get easier. But the more you talk about it, the more
the easier
you let it out, the better it gets.
I have some.
She got you.
That's what best friends are for.
Oh, I love that.
All right. I'm ready.
You ready? Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I like honestly kind of blacked out in that moment because I don't remember texting my parents. I mean, in hindsight, probably should have told them in person, but like in that moment, like it just happened that way and they got text messages. My mom's still upset with me about it, but you know, I tell her, I'm like, this is a part of my journey and this is how I ended up telling you, like, you know me. And I wouldn't been able to tell you in person. It wouldn't come out because it just, I don't think I actually said I had breast cancer out loud for like a month. I would just like text people. I was like, I can't tell you like in person because I'm going to start crying. And I was like, I'm going to fall apart. So yeah.
That's very self-aware of you to know that. It's not easy, especially when you say it out loud. It becomes super real. So I can see why it was hard for you to even tell your parents.
Yeah. So my mom picked me up that day because I was like, I can't be here. And I just literally cried on her. I like went on the bed and she just like was rubbing my back and I was just crying. She took me home. She's like, do you want anything to eat? She's like, do you want In-N-Out? Which she hates taking me to In-N-Out. Because of the line. And I was like, not even then. I was like, I don't want anything to eat. I was like, I do not want anything. But that night, my boss actually came over. She brought me food.
Oh.
My other friend came over and we just like sat there crying. And yeah, I ended up taking the next few days. This was a Wednesday. I took the rest of the week off. And just a weekend. And I told myself, I was like, I am giving myself these 5 days to cry it out. I was like, but once these 5 days are over, we are writing a list. We are going to figure this out. But I'm not going to sit in this for weeks. I can't. There's like no way. Just knowing myself, I would probably dig myself into a hole if I did not tell people how I did. And if I didn't like put that limit on myself to like, okay, let me cry for these 5 days. And then, okay, let's start figuring this out.
First off, I do want to say, I'm glad that you gave yourself 5 days to grieve. That's the word to use. Because it's important to feel what's happening, what's coming up, and like just let it out. And I love that you gave yourself those 5 days, and then you're like, okay, we're gonna set a list. We're gonna do a list. And we're gonna figure this out.
No.
It's very resilient of you. There's a lot of people out there that, you know, and I can't really speak for other people that are going through it because it's something that you don't know how to process until you're there. But it's very brave of you to have been able to give yourself that amount of time and then be like, all right, we're going to pick myself back up. We're going to figure this out. It's very big of you.
It's all therapy.
Oh, hey, see?
All
Therapy,
therapy.
man. How many times I've been saying therapy? Okay.
Definitely all therapy.
So
But
wait, were you doing therapy before, during, or?
actually wasn't. It had been a couple of years that I was not doing therapy just because I couldn't find the right one.
Mm.
And once I got diagnosed, one of my friends, who's a therapist, she's like, I know you're super picky. She's like, I do not know if you want to do this, but she's like, I think it's really important.
Shout out to your friend that's a
Yeah.
therapist, by the way, because she's right.
Yeah.
Or he.
So
She.
that's she. So she gave me a couple of resources and I reached out to one of them, and I've been with that therapist for 2 years now, and she's absolutely amazing. We've been through a lot these last 2 years, so
I love that.
yeah.
Do you feel like I mean, obviously she's been doing a great job, but do you feel like
Yeah.
she's definitely played a big role in your healing journey?
Not just with breast cancer, just with everything in life. She's played a huge role in how I just do everything because, yeah, I could just act a certain way or in different situations, but because I've been to therapy, I always think about it twice. And I think that's really important when you react to certain things.
Okay. Well, let's go into the treatment.
Yeah.
What did your treatment journey look like? Chemo, radiation. I don't know if there was surgery involved, but
Yeah.
what was that like?
So I had stage 1A invasive ductal carcinoma. It was estrogen positive and progesterone positive and HER2 negative. For the breast cancer community, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
it's going in one ear.
Yeah, it's a lot. But basically, what that says is that estrogen was basically like hitting the cancer cells and making them grow.
Okay.
So
Very interesting.
yeah. So at that point, like I say, I got super lucky that I let it go for a couple of months and it did not grow. It was still at 1 centimeter. I met with an oncologist, a breast surgeon, a radiologist, a plastic surgeon, a fertility specialist.
Damn.
What else? So many things. It was like craziness. Kaiser referred me to another therapist, a psychiatrist. It was like
Damn.
so many appointments, and it was half of those were in one day. In one day. So
That's a lot to take on.
yeah. Luckily, my mom was there. I had my notes of questions that I wanted to ask. My mom had her own set of questions. And yeah. So what I ended up deciding, even though it was just in the left breast, and I ended up doing gene tests, and even after looking at my family history of cancer and everything, the gene test said that there was no gene that caused the cancer. And then
Is there anything, a way that you know what caused it, or is it just?
they said that in the future I can take another gene test. It could be that they just don't know that there's another gene that causes it. So it could be different things.
And there's no one in your family that has had it?
So my dad's mom had it around like 10-ish years ago in the same breast, but it was stage 0. I left that out, but she had never told me that she had breast cancer. She kept it a secret. And I actually found out 3 months before I got breast cancer that she had breast cancer. So, and it was just like a coincidence that it was in the same breast.
Wow.
Yeah. But they said there was no gene. So I was like, this is really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I just want to say, because
yeah.
it just reminds me of like
Mhm.
mental health, especially in the Latin culture. We tend to dumb it down and we think these things don't exist. We grew up that way, but it's so important to understand and see that this is real. Mental health is real. These diagnoses are real. Cancer is real. All of it is real. And it's so important to take it as it's real. Like, if obviously, like, it's hard to share that with other people, like when you
Yeah.
have cancer or things like that. And I get it, but it's so important to be able to share that with your family, because genes wise, like, you never know, like, if your parents had it and they don't tell you, there's a possibility you may get it,
Yeah.
and you not knowing, stuff like this can happen. So I just want to put the importance out there that, when you feel something's off, go get checked. You have a support system. I know sometimes it's hard to ask for help. I get it. I've been there, but just do it. I guarantee there's someone out there that is willing to be there for you. I just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah. No, that's so true. Just like in the Latino community, mental health in general, like, you ask my grandma, I always say, I'm like, "Oh, I'm anxious." She's like, "What are you anxious about?" She's like, "Go clean something."
Oh my God. The amount of times I heard that growing up.
Right.
Vaya a limpiar. You're bored? Go do something.
Yeah. She's like, "That'll kick the anxiety right out." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay." But yeah, telling her was hard too. She thought I was kidding. She thought I was joking with her. I
Your
was like,
grandma?
yeah.
Okay.
But I think my dad said that he had called her in advance to let her know. So she knew. So I ended up, after meeting with all those specialists, I decided against freezing my eggs, because since I was not doing chemo, they weren't going to cover it. So it was going to be like 13 grand out of pocket, which I did not have.
For chemo.
No. To freeze your eggs.
13 grand?
13 grand just to freeze your eggs.
You see what us women go through? 13,000
Yeah.
to freeze your eggs.
That's not even for the storage of it.
Oh, damn. You got to pay a fee for that too?
Yeah.
They might as well pay us. They might as well charge us to breathe at this point.
I mean, I'm sure it's in the bill somewhere.
Continue.
Yeah. So I decided against that. And after talking to my oncologist, she's like, "You're super young. It's an early stage." She's like, "If you do a double mastectomy," she's like, "you won't have to do chemo or radiation." And that was a big one for me. I was like, I do not want to do chemo. I do not want to do radiation. I've heard so many horror stories of those things. I was like, and I don't want to put unnecessary poison into my body unless I need to. So I'm grateful to my parents that they let me make that decision by myself. They didn't push me any other way. They're just like, you make this decision for your body. So I chose a double mastectomy with reconstruction. So I think my first appointment was like May 9th, and then my surgery was July 6th. And my breast surgeon, throughout the all the checks, she's like, "It won't grow." She's like, "It's very slow." In those few months, from May to July, it grew at a centimeter more in my surgery.
After you had the surgery?
No.
Or right before? Damn, so it was
From
starting to grow.
diagnosis to surgery, it started to grow. Yeah. So ended up being like 2 centimeters, but still categorized as stage 1A. That was an 8-hour-long surgery. I just remember not being able to sleep that night, being super anxious. I didn't cry or anything. I remember my madrina was there because she also had breast cancer, so she wanted to be there. My cousin was there, my dad, my stepmom, and my mom. And then my cousin like looks at me and she starts crying. I'm like, "Stop crying, please." I was like, "I'm not crying. Stop crying." I was like, "I'm gonna be fine." I was like, "I know this is gonna be fine." And all I told my mom was, because I know they're gonna try to send me home right after the surgery. I was like, "Tell them to keep me," because I was like, I don't do well with pain, and I knew I was gonna be in a lot of pain. So that surgery was 8 hours.
And you were asleep during those 8 hours?
Yeah, 8 hours. And then I think I went in at like, got there like at 5:45, went in at 6. I think we started like at 8:30-ish, 9. And then I didn't wake up until like 7 p.m. And I just remember waking up. I think they gave me like ice chips because like my throat was so sore because they had to put in a breathing tube down my throat. I just remember my dad and stepmom walking in and I just lost it. I just started crying again. And then my grandparents, like they like all took turns coming in to see me. And they're like, "Okay, she's ready to go home." And my mom's like, "No, she's not. She's still in pain. She's staying." And they're like, "No, like she needs to go home." And they're like, she's like, "She was just in surgery for 8 hours. She is not going home. She's staying here until you control the pain." So eventually, after pushing, they let me stay. I remember, yeah, I barely slept that night either. Just like the nurses coming in, re-upping the pain meds. And I just remember, I think, seeing the pads over my chest. And I was like, I really don't want to look at this. I was like, it's literally an amputation of your breasts. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah.
To see yourself like that and see your body like that. Like, who wants to do any of this? No one does. But I thought I know it was the right decision for me. So I think that day I did look at them because obviously the breast surgeon did have to come and like check me out. And I was just like trying to hold it together. Yeah. Ended up getting discharged the next day. And those next few days were so, so hard. I was a 6 to 8 week recovery that I was out of work. I couldn't get out of bed by myself. I couldn't shower myself. I couldn't do my hair, nothing. Like, it's like relearning how to use your hands again. There was times I couldn't get myself out of bed. My mom couldn't even pull me out of bed. Her husband had to come up and literally like carry me out of bed because that's all the pressure that was like on my chest. The first time I took a shower, like my mom was like showering me and I just started crying too. I was like, this is so stupid. I was like, I was like, you shower a baby. I was like, I'm not a baby. And we just sat there like crying because we're like, I mean, this is reality right
Yeah,
now.
you're upset.
Yeah.
You're grieving.
Yeah. I'm like, this is so annoying. But I eventually like got used to it and like got into the routine. I also had like these JP drains, so like these little bulbs that all the blood like would go through and you had to like drain those every single day. I had those for 3 weeks. Those things suck because then you're like trying to take a shower, trying to be careful because it's just like tubes like on the side like of your breast.
Yeah.
And it's like you're scared that someone's gonna accidentally like pull it or something. Yeah, it's really scary.
So you had to be very, very careful.
Yeah, but you have
With
to
your
be super,
movement.
super careful.
And this
The
was
way
for
you
like,
sleep.
you said 8 weeks?
Well, the drains, I only had them in for 3 weeks,
3 weeks.
so it wasn't that bad. But I hated those things. I hated those things with a passion. And then they didn't do reconstruction right away. They put in tissue expanders. So what tissue expanders are is that you it helps you like build like volume since you've just gotten all your breast tissue taken away. So they like slowly like fill like the expanders with like saline solution to like stretch out your skin to get ready for the implants. So we did that. Yeah, it was a long recovery, but shout out to my coworkers. They did a meal train for me. They donated to my GoFundMe. They sent me DoorDash gift cards. They
Oh,
were just amazing. Like sent me letters, like text messages, flowers, and I could not be more grateful for like my work family. Like they're amazing. So
shout out to her work family.
yeah, so they're amazing. That was really helpful in that time, especially because you're like, can't do all these things and you're on disability, so you're not getting paid fully. So the GoFundMe was really helpful and being able to pay all my bills and make sure that I was good during that time. And I actually had to move in with my mom so she could take care of me because I was living by myself at that point. I had to make that hard decision to give up my apartment and move in with my mom.
Yeah, that's hard too, because once
Yeah.
you're living alone and you feel that
Oh,
freedom and
yeah.
that solitude, oh, it just feels amazing. Then
Yeah.
having to go back home. So
Yeah.
now you were dealing with a lot.
Yeah.
That's intense.
So that was a 6 week recovery. And after the 6 weeks, I was like, I want to go back to work. So I
Once
went,
you were recovered, you
yeah.
said? Okay.
So I ended up going back after 6 weeks and worked half time for 2 weeks. And people were still like helping me because I couldn't lift anything or do anything. So I was just like doing all computer work. And I was like, I just want to get out of the house. So that was really nice. Like the kids, I don't think they didn't know anything. It was just my coworkers. And yeah. I actually found out, I think, a week after my surgery that I was cancer free. They got everything. There was clear margins. So I was like super excited. I started crying on the phone with the doctor. I was like, thank you so much. But I didn't tell anyone. I was like, I'm going to keep this to myself. But I actually got to share it for the first time at work. We had a like all staff meeting and I was shocked because I had this like pillow that I had and I was like, I want to hug everyone, but I really can't. Like, I don't have any feeling. I was like, I just want to be careful. And then I told them, I was like, I just want to share that I'm cancer free. And you could see like a lot of people like clapping, crying, and it was just like a big moment.
I'm getting
Yeah.
emotional
Yeah.
just thinking about how you felt.
Yeah. Oh no. That whole day was emotional. Just coming back to work for the first day. Like I walked in, there was a bouquet of flowers. I love flowers. And then just everyone excited to see me. So I was crying, I think, all day. All day. I was like crying, telling them that I was cancer free and yeah, it it was just an emotional day, but I'm so grateful to them.
How long after you found out that you were cancer free, you told them?
I think I found out a week after, so it was like a July 11th that I found out that I was cancer free. This was not until like a month later.
Oh, okay, because you just wanted to make sure and process everything, huh?
Yeah, I wanted to
Yeah.
process everything. I obviously told my parents, and that's it. And then I also wanted to completely make sure, like, get all the labs back and everything. And once the doctor told me, like, yes, it's gone.
Do you feel like a part of you couldn't believe it? That's why maybe you held back a little bit and you were just like, hold on, let me just wait it out. And
Yeah, I think a part of me was like, I don't want to like jump the gun and say like, oh yeah, it's gone. And then never mind,
yeah,
it's back and I need to do this. So I just wanted to make sure that it was not in my lymph nodes, because that's the most important thing. They take out lymph nodes when you have cancer to make sure it hasn't spread to other parts of the body. So I got 3 lymph nodes removed on this side. So I have a scar there for that. Yeah, it's just, yeah. And then, so my whole surgery, I ended up getting a double mastectomy. The nipple was inverted. And what I found out was that the cancer was already in my milk ducts in the nipple. So they had to remove the whole nipple on the left side. So that was also really hard. And I told them, I was like, if you could save the right, please save it, because I was like, at least I'll have something. So that was really hard. But, and I think that's still a constant struggle, like to look at your body and say, like, even though I have implants and everything, like, it's not mine. I was like, and that's something I'm still like working through.
yeah, it's an everyday battle.
Yeah.
Just having to look at your body.
Yeah.
And it's a constant reminder of what you went through.
Yeah.
So that's tough. Well, that goes into my other question. I feel like you kind of touched base a little bit about it, but maybe you could go into a little bit more.
Yeah.
How did the diagnoses and treatment affect you emotionally, physically, and spiritually? And do you have any advice for someone who maybe just found out they got cancer and they're going through the same thing?
Yeah. I think the first thing I think I was really mad with God.
That's okay.
Super mad. I was like, why me? Like,
Yeah.
out of all people, why me?
What did I do to deserve
I think
this?
after Michael that I told my goddaughter, that was like her question. She, I think, was only 8 at the time, 8 or 9. And she's all like, why would God do this to my Nina? So that was really hard.
Yeah.
I love that little girl to death, and to have her see me in that space is not what I wanted. That was also really hard. But working through that, I think the advice I would give people is take that time to grieve. You need to cry. You need to shout, scream, curse, whatever you need to do to get it all out. But also, like, you need to, like, if you have, like, that support system, use that support system, ask for help. I am 1,000,000% a person that never asks for help. I'm very independent. Like, I don't want anyone to do anything for me. I am my own person. So this was a big lesson in having to let go and let people do things for me. So that was another thing.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a big thing that we
yeah.
deal with.
Yeah. So that was hard.
So you're saying for them to let people
Yeah. Let
in.
people in. Do
them
not do
support
this
you.
by yourself. You're going to need people in your circle. Emotionally, it was really hard. There's days like I just would start crying out of nowhere. But for the most part at work, I held it together. I would just get up throughout the day and just walk around in the fresh air, take deep breaths. And yeah, once I told my work family, I told them, I was like, you can talk to me after work about it. But right now, like, I don't want to talk about it at work. I was like, I just want to keep it like outside of work. So yeah. What else advice would I give?
Whatever you feel called to say. Whatever helped you.
Definitely let people know how you're feeling. It's really important. Write down all the questions. Do not Google.
Don't Google.
Do not
That's
Google.
the first thing we do.
That was the first thing my doctor told me. Do not Google. And what did I go do? Google.
Because then you get a whole bunch of crap that probably isn't even true.
Yeah. They're like, you're going to get chemo, you're going to die. And it's all like, to cry.
It's feeding your intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, it's feeding the intrusive thoughts. So I'm like, no, do not. Please do not.
Do not Google, y'all.
But yeah, like since my diagnosis, there's been a lot of people that have reached out to me that just gotten diagnosed. And what I tell them, I'm like, it's okay to feel all the feelings you're feeling and give yourself that time to feel those feelings. Give yourself that time to grieve and everything. Like you need it. Because your life is about to change.
Yeah.
Like no other. What I am grateful for in this whole thing is, even though it has changed me, I still feel like I'm very much that same sweet, nice person that I've always been, and that's never changed. I just have a lot more boundaries now.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with having boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries are good. Trust.
Yeah. And that's come with therapy.
I mean, I'm just saying, therapy.
No, it works with the right therapist, of course.
Yes. And also, I got to say, sometimes the first therapist you find is not going to be the right match. I mean, it takes a while to really find someone that meshes with you. So just because the therapist you found maybe doesn't align with you, don't give up. Keep searching, keep looking for one. You'll eventually find one that sees you and understands you and can help you process what you're going through. So don't give up just because the first therapist you got wasn't the best one or the right one. Everyone is different and you'll eventually find the right one. So don't give up.
No.
Yeah. Okay, let's go into the next question. So obviously you were going through a lot emotionally, spiritually, physically, and I'm sure you were down during those times. Do you feel like there was a mindset shift, or was there any practices or strategies that you used to get you through your tough times to like help you shift from feeling down to trying to be positive, or like or anything you may have done?
That's a good question.
And if not, if you were just going through it and just taking it day by day, I mean, that's okay too.
Yeah, I think for the most part, after the first surgery, I was taking it day by day. Journaling was helpful.
Okay.
Once I was able to get out of the house, I wanted to get out of the house to go on walks and just talking to people, the people that I loved most. And in the beginning, it was honestly a little annoying when people would text me every single day asking me the same question.
How are you doing? Or
yeah. I think I posted something on Instagram and I was like, how do you think I'm doing? I was like, I love you guys for asking, but if you keep asking me every single day, I'm going to get upset.
Yeah.
But it kind of gets like annoying, but I get why they're asking and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But like when you're like mentally like so into like deep into it, like you don't want people to ask you that question.
Fair.
But after think, oh my God, sorry, brain fog.
No, you're good.
See,
we can pause for a second.
Symptoms of everything. I'm like, brain fog?
No, you're good. We were talking about like strategy. So you said journaling, taking walks, talking to your close people.
Yeah.
Just taking it day by day.
Yeah, taking it day by day, rewatching Sex and the City.
Hey.
Jane the Virgin, I think and Shameless. I think those are the 3 shows I rewatched.
Back to back?
Back to back.
I love it.
Those are my tried and trues. I love those shows. Of course, and The Devil Wears Prada is my favorite movie, so
I love that. You know, those are the things you won't think of of doing when you're going through a tough time, but just like a quick little binge watch.
Yeah.
You know, nothing wrong with that. That to me is self-care.
Yeah.
Go rot. Go lay in bed, watch a movie, go rewatch your series.
It's the only time you get to rot.
Make some tea, just relax, take it easy.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I rewatched those shows and I never remembered that in Sex and the City, Samantha got breast cancer, and in Jane the Virgin, the mom got breast cancer. And I'm like rewatching this, bawling my eyes out. I'm like, oh my God, why did I put myself through this?
Well, in some weird way, it kind of probably helped you because you kept rewatching it.
Yeah.
That's good.
I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I'm glad. But then you also are like, oh, this is how they're showing these things, and how true is what they're putting out there.
Do you feel like it was kind of true, like what was being put out there in the shows, or do you feel like it was kind of not reality?
Some of it, but not. I mean, not 100% of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you never really know like what you're going to go through until you go through it. And these past 2 years have been a complete roller coaster, and I'm still going through like all the emotions and everything. So yeah, but it's just therapy is super helpful. Journaling. Now that I'm out of my, I think, third surgery, I've been working out, so that's been super helpful. Mentally.
That's good. I'm all about fitness.
Yeah, fitness, decreasing alcohol intake as well.
Clock it.
Yeah.
Yes, all the good things.
Yeah. So that's been amazing. I love my boxing gym. It's been very great. So shout out to HitFit SF.
I've been there before.
Yeah. It's a good time. Really cool trainers. It's been a lot of fun for the last, I think I've been going there for 5 months now. So yeah.
Boxing is good. I'm sure that's where you get a lot of your
Aggression out.
anger and aggression. Yeah, all
Apparently
of that.
I'm too nice and don't hit hard enough. So
Really?
it's okay.
Well, we gonna need you to hit harder then.
They're like, pretend it's the cancer. And I'm like, okay, fine.
I love that.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of those rage rooms?
Yeah, I've done it before.
Have you done it? Okay, I was just about to say you should try that. I actually want to do that.
I do. I've done it like before cancer, so maybe I should do it now.
Yeah.
To see
if you let out some more aggression.
Maybe.
Sometimes you just gotta, put some shit around.
There's a lot of the times in like the whole journey, I wanted to just take a plate and just throw it on the ground, but I'm very controlling in the way that I'm like, no, because then I'm gonna have to clean that up.
You're overthinking it.
Yeah.
That's natural. Okay, going into the next question. So since this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, what does Breast Cancer Awareness Month mean to you personally?
Well,
and the importance of sharing it.
Yeah. I think it's important to note that it's not just a month, that breast cancer is year round. I love that it does get highlighted, but it's very important to note that it doesn't stop after October. There's still people going through things. There's still people going through chemo treatments. There's still people going through surgeries, healing, everything. And I feel like, you just see all the pink stuff and it kind of gets like traumatic in a way. You get PTSD like to like that moment when you find out like, oh, people are just putting pink ribbons and saying that they're donating. But then you end up doing research and finding out that a lot of these companies are not even giving 50% of what they're fundraising to actual breast cancer survivors.
Wow.
So it's always good. Like when people are like, oh, do you want to donate? I'm like, well, how much is going to help breast cancer survivors? Which is why, like, for my year anniversary, I told people to donate to local breast cancer, it's Bay Area Cancer Center, I believe, Bay Area Young Survivors, which is who I'm a part of. So it's women under the age of 50 who are affected with breast cancer. Yeah. So it's really important to do your research and see where that money is going. Because a lot of the time it's not going to that. And I think that's really important to see and call people out on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because if you're gaining money off of people's diseases, that's not cool.
Yeah, that is psychotic.
Yeah.
So if you're going to donate money, donate to a local.
Yeah. Local is always good. The Breasties is amazing. That's the camp that I went to. They're a really, really good camp and just like overall space for people with breast cancer and gynecological cancer. So yeah, I'm really happy I found them. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing that. And another question is, after going through the diagnoses and treatment and being cancer free, how do you feel like it has changed your life, your perspective?
Life is way too short, number one. It definitely puts that into perspective. Like, do I really want to get mad at this certain thing? Do I really want to be in this headspace? So I think it just put a lot into perspective for me. It told me to slow down because I'm always moving so fast. It taught me how to ask for help because I was never asking for help. And it just also told me to put myself first.
That part.
Yeah. Like a lot of the time, like you think people are your friends. And in this whole cancer journey, there's people that ghost you because they don't know how to handle it. And it's really sad. And you go through the emotions of that and blaming yourself. But then you think it has nothing to do with you. It has to do everything with them. So you have to put yourself first in that matter and tell yourself like it's not you, like it's them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't keep trying to push a friendship that's not for you.
100%.
Yeah. Because the friends that are going to be there for you throughout this journey will still be there, no matter what.
I love that. That's great. 2 more questions as we close down.
Yeah.
If you could go back and tell yourself something at the beginning of your journey, what would it be?
It's a really good question.
You can marinate on it real
I
quick.
was like, let me marinate on that really quick.
Anything you would tell yourself at the beginning of your journey, maybe a pep talk.
I think I would say, if I could go back, I would say, God's got you every step of the way. As much as you are so mad at him right now, he's got you. You got this, and just keep breathing. Yeah, you just got this. Be gentle with yourself. You made the decisions you're going to make are what's best for you, and do not let anyone tell you any different, and that you know your body. You are your best advocate. So just to anyone out there that's newly diagnosed too, like you are your best advocate. You know your body. Do not let anyone tell you what you need to do with your body. And that's super key.
Okay. And that goes into the last question. What message of hope or encouragement do you want to share with listeners who may be facing breast cancer or supporting a loved one right now?
As uncomfortable it may be there for that person. The smallest little thing makes the world of difference. My friends just sending me like a quick little text message telling me that they're thinking of me, sending me flowers, bringing me a meal. Like those small little things were like so big to me. People that I hadn't talked to in decades reaching out to me like meant the world. I think the biggest message is be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to ask for what you need. Yeah, just be yourself. That's the most important thing. Trust God and that everything's going to be okay. A lot of things that you think might not pan out like you think it might be, but just trust yourself. It's a big thing.
One of the biggest things I feel like I took away is being okay with being upset and letting those emotions just out.
Yeah. Like I told myself, I was like, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. And I started talking about it. I started crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It resurfaces. So just know, like, you're going through it. Allow yourself to go through it. Be mad. Be sad. Tell a loved one, someone close to you, support system. It's okay to be upset with the higher power. It's okay to be grateful. Like, it's okay to have multiple feelings at the same time, good and bad. Just let yourself sit with it. But yeah, thank you for being on here today and for sharing your journey and your story. I know it's not easy and you're still technically recovering, even though you're cancer free, there's still a lot.
Yeah, I had my last surgery in January. Yeah. My second reconstruction surgeries. I honestly feel like after like the whole like journey of the surgeries and everything, you're still kind of going through like, wait, what did I just go through? And then you're on this medication for the next 10 years that has you in a medical menopause. So you're hot flashing, you have brain fog, you have all these things that are so annoying and you can't control. But I mean, it's better than cancer, I guess. That's what I keep telling myself.
That's what helps you get through it.
Yeah. But it's just, I mean, it's a lot. The aftermath is a lot, and that's what they don't prepare you for. And I thought like going through the surgeries and everything would be like the worst of it. And honestly, like the aftermath of like the emotional, like, what did I just go through has been the hardest. But again, therapy has been very helpful and having amazing friends that are there when we'll drop everything when I need them. So it's been great.
That's good. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
And congratulations
Thank you.
on getting through it. Congratulations on your second surgery. And
Yeah.
hopefully that's the last one.
That is what I'm hoping.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sending you my positive vibras. I got magic dust that works, I swear. So I'm, sending you positive vibes and hoping that, you feel, I mean, I don't want to say amazing, but just like
Yeah.
great, good. And I wish you nothing but the best. I appreciate you coming on here, sharing your story,
Yeah.
telling people out there what you went through. It's not easy being vulnerable, but it could save a life. I mean, it will save a life. I'm not going to say could.
Yeah. That is my biggest hope. Even with my doctor that didn't want to do the breast check, after I went into my next appointment with him, he's like, because of you, he's like, I will never skip a breast check. He's like, I tell your story and how you advocated for yourself. He's like, I will never skip a breast check now because of
Wow.
you. And in that moment, I was like, oh my God. I was like, don't make me cry.
That's huge.
Yeah. So that was big. I was like, little old me made a difference, but
Hell yeah.
yeah.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that before you
Yeah.
close down.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that. But yeah, seriously, like anytime you share your story, your journey of what you've gone through, the good and the bad, like there's someone out there that's going through something similar or about to.
Yeah.
And just hearing what you went through, like it will inspire them. It'll help them get through it. That's why I started this podcast. That's why I yap on social media about my life, because it's like you just never know the next person that needs it. So
Yeah, you never know who's gonna want to hear it. I mean, I love listening to your videos and listening to the podcast. So something just told me I needed to reach out. So
also, that reminds me,
yeah,
she's actually been one of the few who've been very supportive and engaging since I started my podcast. So I want to say that I truly appreciate you and your support, seriously, because when you start stuff like this, like your closest people, family, friends, whatever, are like sometimes one of the first to support and not support. And just the fact that, like, I've known you since the Mercy days, and you right off the bat was just very supportive. I was like, that means a lot to me. That's something I'm never going to forget. So I'm glad that you came on here and we were able to share your story. And I'm excited to see how the rest of your journey unfolds and to see what's next for you.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much for letting me be on here.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We're closing down. Thank you so much for being on here. If you have any questions, if you're open to it, reach out to her. What's your IG?
I think it's Adriana Marie. We'll link it.
Okay, we'll put it here.
Complicated.
Adriana Marie on IG. We'll put it right here. Reach out to her if you have any questions about breast cancer, anything at all, recovery, treatment, or you just need someone to talk to, confide in.
Yeah.
You got it right here. And you can also reach out to me. I'm pretty open. I'd like to talk and yap too. So yeah. So thank you guys for being here. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you have any questions for me that you want answered on the podcast, go ahead and put it in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer it towards the end of every podcast episode. But once again, sending love and light and positive vibes to everyone out there that has been affected by breast cancer. Like you said, I know it's just a month where they celebrate breast cancer awareness, but it doesn't end in October. Like this is something that should be highlighted every day. So thank y'all for tuning in. Love y'all. Until next time.